This couple, who we'll call Rose and Pedro, are too frightened to share their identities.
I scare a little.
You see, despite being in Seattle for more than a decade, neither came from Mexico legally.
It's hard. It's hard. Oh yeah. Some people die in the desert.
What would make Pedro risk his life to trek through the desert and slip through the California border? What would make Rose come on a tourist visa a few years later and never leave? You're looking at their 3 reasons. Born in the U.S., their children, ages 2 to 9, are American citizens, their biggest joy and brightest hope.
We're going to have better opportunities in this country than in Mexico, because there are a lot of violence there and there's not a good education for them.
Rose and Pedro have seen how families in their home state of Guerrero, Mexico, routinely face the fallout of poverty and the dangers of drug cartels. How could they raise their family when jobs are scarce and starting a business means dealing with extortion and the constant fear of ruin?
I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back to Mexico.
Next one, you can do it.
But the trade-off is a life of uncertainty here. What if they're deported by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE? What would become of their children?
They've been here for so long, and mom and dad are not able to get a little piece of paper that says it's okay for you to live here and work here. It's just as simple as that. Only a little piece of paper.
Maru Villapando is herself a longtime undocumented immigrant with a child born in the U.S. who's now grown. She's become a fierce advocate for immigrants and an outspoken critic of President Trump's immigration priorities.
I'm one of the trainers for the resistance. I think the more I do this work, the more I realize that the shame shouldn't be on people, it should be on the system that has created this crisis for us. So they created a bottleneck for us where we get stuck. We're not able to live and we're not able to apply for a legalization program. We're gonna share with you all the different tools that we have gathered throughout many years.
Maru leads workshops throughout the state, educating immigrants, many of whom are in Rose's shoes.
So ICE has a lot of power. They're police and they're prosecutor.
Rose attended one of Maru's workshops a few years ago.
The first time I came to a workshop with Maru, I was really scared.
But she learned immigrants may be undocumented, but they still have rights. The right not to open the door to ICE agents, the right to remain silent, the right to a public defender if detained. It gave her strength.
Because worry doesn't help. I can be scary, I can have fear, but that's gonna increase my anxiety. Yeah, so we had to act.
So Rose is now putting together her family safety plan, giving a trusted friend temporary legal custody of her kids in case she and Pedro are detained or deported, gathering important documents in a special box, which gets passed out at workshops.
It doesn't include just the kids. It includes your property, like your house, bank accounts, your car.
Listen to her. Doesn't Rose sound like a workshop trainer?
But it's really important.
That's because she is now.
Yeah, because it's happening.
Working with Maru, helping other undocumented immigrants learn how to prepare for the worst. On their side, the City of Seattle's Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs and the city's declaration as a sanctuary city, or the preferred term now, a welcoming city.
I like to call them don't ask policies, or stay in your lane policies, or stay within my local jurisdiction policies.
That means city employees will not ask about an immigrant's legal status. That despite threats from a Trump presidency to withhold federal funding from sanctuary cities.
That we will stand up to any federal policy that is anti-immigrant and that seeks to divide immigrants and refugees across the nation.
It's estimated at least 250,000 undocumented immigrants are living in Washington state. Most came for economic opportunities, a better life. The biggest group is from Mexico. The biggest increase in recent years is from Asia, India, and China. Joaquin Wee says immigrants, whether legal or not, have helped our economies.
I believe the recent figures show millions of dollars of taxes and revenue that immigrants contribute to our vibrant economy. Immigrants, whether you're documented or undocumented, they buy houses, pay rent, pay sales tax, start businesses.
Work, save money for my school kids, and that's it.
For now, the future of Rose and Pedro remains unknown. Nagging worries about their legal status, coupled with the comfort of knowing that at least their children will always be Americanos, their biggest joy and brightest hope.
Cuatro, you did it. Bien.
Watch CityStream Thursday nights at 7 on the Seattle channel, or get video on demand and podcast anytime at seattlechannel.org.